Welcome back, tribe. Let's get into it.
Why are there so many women today who say they don't need a man?
I mean, because if they want to go 50-50 on things, I just don't need them.
Because there's a lot of bum-ass men out in the world who don't do enough so us women can supply for ourselves now.
Says the one with a chest tattoo.
Because they're feminists and they like to be feminists.
If a man has friends, doesn't want kids, hires a maid and hires a prostitute, why would a man need a woman?
I don't know how to answer this question.
Because of human connection, of meaningful connection, to correct myself. Just there's nothing that replaces the authenticity of a partnership.
Right, there you go.
Men need women in a sense because, I don't know, like, they need our love. You know what I mean?
Someone with nothing to offer. I don't know. What do you bring to the table? These are the types of women that will ask you the question, what do you bring to the table? Because they think they're God's gift to earth. Like everything they walk on revolves around them. They literally star, direct, produce their own show in their own little head.
True. You can't really get true intimacy with a prostitute. You can bust a nut, but that's about it.
Why do women proudly chant, pussy runs the world, but then also complain guys only want sex?
I don't know why they complain about that, but pussy definitely runs the world. You can make a man do a lot of things.
Does pussy actually run the world, or does it just control the men who built and maintain the world?
You know what? I feel attacked by that statement.
Because men cannot live without sex. And it really does run the world.
I think it only controls weak men. I don't think he runs any strong men. In fact, the men that rule the world, pussy bends for them. You know what I mean? They, don't control a strong man. A strong man can replace the woman.
Women rule the world, but pussy just manages it.
Do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
No. Women's always been the neck of the foundation. The men is just the head. We draw shit.
Wouldn't that mean women
What?
always had power?
Yes. But men cannot accept women having power, so we just have to stand in the back and
Patriarchy.
pretend that we don't have power and use a reverse psychology and just like pretend that we don't, because they like to say they right, so we just like, all right, and give you the idea, and then you just say, yeah, it's your idea. Okay.
So why are women complaining about past oppression if they always had pussy power?
They want equal rights, and that's bullshit.
Personally, I just think they kind of like...
That one is somewhat woke. She's hitting on some deep strings in society on how women use sex to control men and get their way. And a lot of things men built and have done in the world is because women. That is true. And that gives them a ton of power. This is why the womanist movement is looked on as projecting something that it's not, which is women being underrepresented or suppressed by the patriarchy or held back in some way just for being a woman, when secretly the soft power women have basically allows them to get a man to do anything. They just have to play their cards right. Now, some women at the very top of academia that were pushing for womanist movements wanted to compete on an evil playing field with men for whatever reason, totally forgoing their femininity because they didn't have much. Ugly womanists, they're pretty common. It's a funny meme and joke to dunk on them for. And so when you don't have feminine benefits, you're not the hot Stacy in school where everybody is trying to do everything for her homework, open her door, pay her bills. She's got life on easy mode, pretty privilege essentially. For those women, they have to work hard like men. Nobody cares about you, just like a man. And women can't stand being in a predicament like that. So you got to work as hard as a man. You're going to claim you're suppressed, oppressed. Patriarchy is ruining this. Any other woman that opposes you is internalized misogyny, etc. This, that, and the other. And keep them coming until they find themselves at the top. And by the way, it's not even at the top from merit because it's diversity and inclusion these days. You have to force women through the door to compete with men. It's kind of a joke.
Are backwards in their reasoning on most things. You know what I mean? It's that they want to feel a certain amount of power, and that's the only thing that they can kind of reach to say that they have this power over males. So,
do you think there was ever a time when pussy didn't run the world?
Probably not, no.
Wouldn't that mean that women always had power?
Yeah, they definitely did, but we just make men do all the, hard labor work.
Exactly.
Women say they want equal rights, but then when a man talks to them the way they talk to another man, then they say, "Oh, you're offending me," or "Oh, you're doing this." But if you want equal rights and you want to be treated equally, then it has to be like always. Like it can't just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put my hand on a man," and then like when he does it back, like, "Oh, I'm a woman." But you want equal rights, or you want to like put yourself in a man's position, but then you don't want like the actions to come. But only actions you want is beneficial actions.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not a lot, and that should change. Society it's set up for that.
Just the
How
nose
do we
rings
change
alone.
that?
The nose rings alone is why the music's playing.
Great question. Let women take over. Change the mindsets.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of that aren't related to sex or beauty?
Christina Aguilera. She is my idol. Janis Joplin, she's my idol. I am a singer-songwriter, and they have never based sex off of their career because they're so talented to do that.
How many female-dominated industries can you think of?
Bro, what? Have you seen Lady Marmalade? Have you seen some of the videos Christina Aguilera has been in? She sexualized and commodified her body to get fame, just like every other artist in that segment. It's gotten to an extreme point today. I mean, look at WAP, Megan Thee Stallion, Cardi B, all these artists, the lyrics are literally hyper-sexualized, and that's all they can think of. I was thinking about this too, because women moved in Twitch TV also, started becoming the little gamer girls. And what did they do? They hot tub. What is it called? Hot tub and chilling in hot tubs? Something like that. Let me look this up. And they found out they sucked at playing video games and they couldn't compete with men. So then they fell back on commodifying their body. So all of a sudden, hot tub streamers became a thing. It's literally girls playing in a shallow hot tub pool, bouncing around on toys and making the stupidest sounds and just replying to chat and targeting underage boys, because Twitch TV has a lot of underage boys that are just giving away Prime Twitch subs for free, giving away their parents' money for free, and their brains are getting completely fried by this softcore, essentially adult entertainment. Twitch sold out. It was a mecca for gamers. Now it's essentially a place where young boys get predated on by women that do nothing that has to do with gaming or talking or anything. It's literally in bikinis doing the craziest motions. Just go look up hot tubs on Twitch. Completely sold out for the money.
That aren't related to sex or beauty?
Not one.
Are men more likely to use power to get sex, or are women more likely to use sex to get power?
Ooh.
Come on, man.
I think women are more likely to use sex to get power.
There you go.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
I personally don't think there is a difference. I think those are the same thing, one and the same. I think they basically are. It's almost like if someone's using reverse psychology on you, like they want to be able to use your sexuality to advertise things. They want to be able to use your sexuality for whatever purpose that they twist the woman into. All they have to do is, it's kind of like in the Bible, they said, no, you should want to be like God, or the serpent said you could be like God. The woman falls into that very easily. So her head gets blown up, call it empowerment, and she'll do whatever she thinks is empowering.
So isn't it entirely subjective?
Yes, all of it.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
Yes. I think it's all a trick to take advantage of them.
Facts. And this is what we've been talking about on this channel all the time. Literally, you have to watch essentially it's wordplay. It's double speak. When they say this is empowering, or this is the Patriot Act, or this is Citizens United, whatever you want to call it, anything, just pay close attention to the wording. It's usually the opposite of what it means. So this hypersexualized society we live in today has completely commodified the female body to the point where OnlyFans is now a legitimate source of income for women all around the world. They just need to get a decent following of depraved, isolated, confused men, aka simps, that have no manliness, no manhood. They didn't go through any coming of age. They don't belong to any group of men. They're completely lost, lonely, and starved of intimacy. So they're easily taken advantage of. That's why there's so many simps paying these OnlyFans girls where they're making $500,000 a year or hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. And they could be your average girl next door, because men today are so lost, separated, isolated, and on the brink of fucking losing it. that this is the only form of intimacy a man could get, paying for a woman to get for a $4.99 a month subscription so she can tell him, "Hi, daddy, how are you?" And that's the highlight of his day. This is why this simping epidemic has destroyed women's brains. We need to be able to fix men so we can fix women, and vice versa. We have to save the simps because that's the only way we can save the, quote, modern woman. This is all enabled by men. Imagine if men stopped giving out attention and stopped giving out money. Do you think women would be following the trend of hypersexualization? No, man. Commodifying your body comes with a lot of financial power. This is why it's so popular. You can get an 18-year-old girl that has no experience in life, knows absolutely nothing, can't do anything for herself, has no skills marketable in the labor market, but can literally just do OnlyFans, and voila, she's making more than a guy that's been 30 years deep into his career, tons of accolades, plaque on the wall, all this, and she's gonna out-earn him. That's the world we're in today. Hence why the dating market is so messed up. How can you possibly compete with a 19-year-old chick that's out-earning some CEOs for small businesses? Nuts.
Most female-dominated industries are sex or beauty-related, correct?
Oh,
Yes, that's the way things are right now. That should change.
Well, right, but why would women want to give up their power if they can use it to,
Because it shouldn't be the only power that we're able to hold in society.
Again, it's what I was saying with the Twitch thing. Women default to commodifying themselves. In any space they move into, it becomes sexualized. This is what women focus on. Twitch TV is the most perfect modern example we have of an industry dominated by men, and then women moved in and literally turned it into a shit show of hot tubs and whatever else. Literally, a girl streamer was just having sex on camera for the second time. Twitch only banned her for a week. She came back, did it again. But you can say something like, I think Destiny made a remark about something, gets banned on Twitch. Other streamers make other comments, maybe political or not, banned on Twitch. But a chick can literally break terms of service hardcore by doing adult entertainment, essentially. On Twitch, gets banned 7 days, slap on the wrist, at a girl, back at it. Does it again. How will Twitch respond? We don't know. Let's find out later.
Well, whether it should
When you don't give women a fair chance to gain power, they're going to do whatever it takes.
Well, is there anything stopping women from getting power any other way?
Yes, men.
Well, I mean, but men also give women their power, correct?
Not enough of it.
Well, obviously, if all
Not
the men...
in the ways it matters.
If all the men in the world were gay, how would women get power?
Because they're fucking women.
What does that mean?
What?
They're strong and better than men.
Well, right, but I'm saying if women couldn't use sex to control men, then how would they get power?
Skip.
Women are more likely to use sex to get power.
What is the difference between sexually empowering women versus sexually objectifying women?
Okay, sexually empowering women would definitely mean like uplifting and like complimenting, like, "Ooh, girl, you look good, but not too close," because it could easily be turned into, "Ooh, girl, you look too good. That's a whole ass snack," and then now that's harassment.
Pause. It's only harassment when he's ugly. Because if you're a whole ass snack and Brad Pitt walked up to her saying that, she would be ready for those advances. Yes, Brad Pitt. Yes, daddy, take me up to your penthouse suite. But when it's some average schmuck coming up and saying you're a whole ass snack, lawsuit.
So there's a fine line in between the two.
Well, isn't it entirely subjective?
Subjective to your own intentions, yes. Like, so maybe your tone of voice or your implication in the fact.
Attraction.
Or
Stop
however
capping.
you were trying to come off at the matter,
Bruh.
So I think
Stop
it
it.
all has to do with the subject to intention, right?
The subjective part is how attractive you are. Stop capping. Oh my God, it's these two again.
And don't have a say in women's sex life.
Do you think the sexual empowerment of women in any way contributes to their own objectification?
No.
Does the fact that porn and OnlyFans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
No. It means that we can use our body the way that we want to without men's control.
The narrative.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
Yes. Yes. And if you don't, you suck.
Take a guess what industry they're in. Guys, I'll give you a second. Those are strong feelings. I wonder who has an account open for $4.99 a month.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Because it's empowering to be able to do what you want with your body when you want to be able to do it.
Stop Stop objectifying me. Stop. Why are you looking at me? Stop catcalling me, you creep. Stop making advances. That's empowerment, apparently.
But isn't that like shaming your own customers?
No,
Well, how can you be a victim of your own product?
because it's my fucking body. My body,
Make
my
it
choice.
make sense. Her body, her choice. Make it make sense. I don't wear these dresses for you. I go out dressed like this for me. But if no man was present in the venue, no attention to be given, she is not going to go in dressed like that. She's trying to get attention. Her ego wants to get bigger. She wants to turn down men who buy her endless amounts of drinks, all the simps that are telling her how beautiful she is. And then at the end of the night, she's going to pick a Chad that doesn't give a shit about her, tells her she's whatever. And then he disappears. He ghosts her after pumping and dumping. Rinse and repeat. Men ain't shit. That's where all this attitude comes from. These chicks are getting passed around by a select few men on dating apps, in the clubs, men they can't get commitment from because they're too high value. These guys know they're better. These guys know they've already arrived. They're millionaires. They're the top select men. And they're just playing the field. And these chicks desperately cling on trying to get a man to commit. The I don't need no man, but men ain't shit because they never commit to me. All they do is pump and dump. Make it make sense, bro. You're supposed to be empowered, right? You're supposed to love sleeping around. It's supposed to be we want to do what men do and enjoy it, but we can't. Why? Because you're always looking for commitment. The game is not the same. It's never been. Make it make sense? Oh, you can't. That's the modern woman.
My body, my choice.
There it goes.
Why do women often claim victimhood by the very
This
thing
one's
they
good.
use to empower themselves?
This one's good.
I believe in that question. I do believe that women do. They do that Me Too shit, and I don't believe in that. Like you say you want to like empower yourself, and then use this as like
Take the music off for her.
like a beneficial
she's
factor.
there.
But then you claim victim, and I think it's just a money. It's just a money aspect.
Does the fact that porn and only
If you're a man today with any real finances, you better be double careful because you are a target today, and women are being taught, essentially groomed by look at the culture, hurt his pocket, sis, etc. The music videos, what they're telling them to do to men. You're a real target. There's some women out here that are straight up predatory when it comes to men. The gold diggers of the past used to want commitment. These women are looking to drag your name in the mud because it's so easy and it can absolutely ruin your life, get you kicked out from your job, lose your company, ostracized from the community, everybody looking at you like you're a creep, like you're disgusting. All off a word, man, and you got to prove yourself. Look at what Johnny Depp went through. They literally blacklisted him from Hollywood. He lost one of his best franchises ever, Pirates of the Caribbean. And then they came groveling back after the man had so much proof and her attorneys were so terrible. Do you see how much work you have to go through as a man just to beat a false allegation? It's nuts, dude. The narrative against men is absolutely insane. It just takes one or two women. Now people have become hip to the game, knowing that, hey, one woman, I don't know. 2 women starts to get weird. 3, 4, you just hire a couple and you can smear any man's name because then it's like, bro, 1, okay, he's rich and famous. We kind of get it. But now multiple women are coming, then you're automatically guilty and you're going to be fighting uphill. The court system is not too good with you.
fans exist prove that women are okay being objectified as long as they're getting paid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
No. Well, yeah,
Oh.
for porn stars and OnlyFans, because they get that dough. They're millionaires off OnlyFans.
Why
Someone tell that to Mia Khalifa, who only made like a couple thousand apparently.
is porn legal but prostitution isn't?
Tell me that. Why? And tell me this. Why can you go out and have sex with 20 million men for free and then nothing happens? But as soon as you want to put a price on your worth, it's illegal. Hello. That's the question.
Do you believe all adults
She is
have
too
sexual
woke.
needs?
Love it.
Of course.
Of course, you couldn't
Buy
live
a
life.
vibrator.
You could not live life without sex. It's impossible.
Should lonely men be expected to satisfy their sexual needs by watching porn?
Yes and no. If they're really desperate, then yes. But if they can wait for a woman, then they should not watch porn.
They can. If that's what they want, then I think that it should go that way. Or buy prostitutes.
If so, why would men still crave sex when porn is free and available all over the internet?
Because you don't get you know how long it takes for you to find the right porn?
Because women don't understand that men actually are more horny than women themselves. and they actually need a sex life, otherwise they cannot function at all. And I know that because I've had like ex-boyfriends that cannot live without sex.
Do you consider sex work to be real work?
What?
Not really, no.
But do you think most women consider sex work to be real work?
Yeah, the empowerment thing, trying to, make it sound like it's more than
Modern
it is,
women,
so
yeah.
they can feel good about it, kind of thing. But I don't believe it is real work at all.
Why are women more accepting of women who can sell sex, but are less likely to accept a man who can buy it?
Ooh, that's a good question. More double standards. Just they don't like reality very much.
Isn't that shaming your own
Nailed it.
customers?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. These OnlyFans women, for all the simps in the comments that pay for that shit, just know she doesn't care about you at all. Is actually disgusted by you. Is actually so disgusted by you that every time you DM her, she whinges. And if you're not coming with money in the DM directly, she wants nothing to do with you. She thinks you're a creep. She makes fun of you with all her friends. You messaging her that you're her biggest fan and how hot she looks and all this. Utter disgust.
I believe so, yeah.
Isn't that like complaining about crackheads while you're selling crack?
Exactly the same, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Ooh. Not really, to be honest with you. I can't say I think we'd be better as a society at all. Not really.
Yes, I do consider sex work is real work. We're the work of all time. We're going to last longer than any other industry. We've been here all before, okay? And we're still going to be here. When computers and everything take over, they're still going to want a physical woman to get it done, okay? We're going to be here.
If prostitution was legal, do you think we'd have a better society?
Yes.
Why?
Everybody would be happy.
Honestly, no, because I think we need to go back to old school values more so than this like do you boo boo type of thing that's going on. I think it's more important to re-register ourselves with old school values, being committed, and
Shout outs to Hamza, by the way. He just lost his Skillshare account because apparently teaching men about Tradcon wives or finding Tradcon women is against terms of service. That's the world we live in today. So she might be saying go back on our older principles and traditions where people were much healthier physically, mentally, spiritually. That's not what's getting pushed in the media. Quite the opposite, actually. If you espouse those old world values, you're going to get demonetized, deplatformed, and silenced. That's the world we live in today.
making that investment into each other and making that commitment, because it's scary, yeah, but it means something. It means a lot more.
Do you think the solution could be prostitution, the world's oldest institution?
Yes. I don't see anything wrong with prostitution as long as it's consensual, legal, and safe.
I think the solution is always prostitution, but it's a way of saying like that, because not prostitution is sex work. Because prostitution is like it's like a derogatory term, and it's meant to like say like people on the corner or like a less than person. Sex work is more like therapy, spending time, not just like that, because it's not always that. It's more to we're more than just that.
Well, what about when it's like
That's
done
all it is, though.
in brothels as a...
You're not more than that. That's literally what you're selling is a body. That's it. For a man, it's a physical pleasure. It can last 5 minutes. He's out. He's done. He feels better about himself. He got the itch out. It's a craving deep inside men. Nothing more. He's not looking to fall in love with a prostitute or whatever. That is all you're offering. And that's nothing bad about it. It's a simple exchange. Money, sex. Yes, society would probably be better. Why? Because there are some lonely men out there that could get saved from self-deleting or committing, mass scale tragedies that we're seeing in the public today. How many of those men, if they just went out, paid $50 like you do in parts of Europe, get your rocks off and you chill the fuck out and decide, you know what, life's pretty nice actually. I want to live again and go pay another $50 the next day and then get my shit together so I could get a woman and make it consistent. Again, sex soothes a lot of problems men have. The loneliness, intimacy, man. That's what's missing from that's literally the one universal factor that's missing from all these perpetrators of public tragedies.
Opposed to streetwalkers.
Okay, so that's when they can put a price on it, then that's when it's okay. But it's like, you're not gonna tax me for my body. Like, how dare you try to tax me, or like I have to pay for your service, like, and I'm the one doing the service. Like, no. It's
called income tax.
I do not believe in that. Like, no. How can you tax us for something that's done for free every fucking day? No.
Wouldn't relationships be built on love rather than sex and manipulation?
I think that the opposite would happen if prostitution was legalized.
Well, if a guy could get sex anytime he wanted, really easily, why would he need to be in a relationship for any reason other than love?
Because if you're in a relationship for love, you should be able to get sex anytime you want to and not find it elsewhere.
I don't think any of the relationships are built on love anyway. Like, I think all of this is a big excuse. Like, we're making excuses just to go about this daily dance.
Wouldn't women be more accountable and make more effort to create loving relationships?
Yes, I believe so.
Wouldn't it remove any legal liabilities for men trying to get sex?
Yes.
Wouldn't it remove the possibility of rejection?
Yeah.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be government regulated and generate tax revenue?
Yeah. Like I mean, I heard in certain places in near Nevada and near in Las Vegas where they actually making tax money off of it. Hey, people gonna do it regardless. It's just gonna happen.
So can you think of any reasons not to legalize it?
No.
Do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, we'd have a better society?
Yes. Yes. And safe. Safer society, because it would be included in law and protected by law.
So, don't women often look for sugar daddies and men often look for trophy wives?
Yes.
Don't women often look for sugar daddies and men look for trophy wives?
They did okay there.
Yes.
Do you believe it's generally true men objectify women sexually while women objectify men financially?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Isn't it generally true that men seek the hottest woman they can afford while women seek the richest man they can attract?
Definitely.
Don't men want trophy wives and women want sugar daddies?
That's the game.
So how is dating not just a loose form of prostitution?
That's all it is. It's prostitution in slow motion, low key.
So then why would it be bad to legalize it if it's already happening?
Got him. That's such a good question.
I don't know.
Mike.
Yeah, you got me on that one, I guess. Yeah.
Good man.
Why should men pay for the opportunity to maybe get sex instead of just paying for sex?
I know. Go with the sure thing. I would go with the sure thing instead of taking a woman out and spending $200 on dinner. You know, might as well just give her that $200 and get to it.
You're paying for the time and the woman's worth. You're not paying for an action or a transaction.
But wouldn't the marketplace determine what the woman's worth is?
No, the woman determines her worth.
Well, she can ask a certain price, but
yeah, she can ask, and if he feels that she's valuable enough, then he will
That's
supply
the market,
that demand.
woman.
Wouldn't it end simping and shift the sexual marketplace to where women have to compete for the men?
I guess I don't really see how it does that.
Well, why should men pay for the opportunity to get sex instead of just paying for sex?
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. Yeah, it kind of, yeah.
It doesn't stop simping. It's already happening in Europe. There's red light districts everywhere. It's legalized. It's safe. You can go for $50, $100, get it done. Simping is more of a psychological thing where a man is seeking intimacy because, okay, you got to separate out, for example, like OnlyFans or adult entertainment where the man's watching the act to get off. And then simping is more emotional in nature. A man wants a woman's time, her attention, to be recognized, respected. You know, all this stuff is super important to a man. It's not just getting your nut off and you're good to go. This is why basically OnlyFans has supplanted, adult entertainment because of the intimacy factor that the women on there can give their quote subscribers or fans. It's the personalized, because if you just want to get your rocks off, you can just go to an adult website, boom, get it done and be on your way. But that emotional connection or whatever semblance of it that this man thinks he's getting is worth paying that monthly fee for, that extra for the private shows, just to have her acknowledge him. So simping will never end until we end male loneliness and bring men up and let them understand that they are worthy, their time is worth something, that they are the prize, that with a little bit of work on themselves, take some time, it takes some effort, but you will bear the fruit and get to enjoy it. Again, as I've been preaching on this channel forever, it is becoming harder and harder to find your own wolf pack, to be part of a tribe of men you respect, men that are getting after, that can hold you accountable, that can help you get ahead and go further in life, that push you to do better, to be better. We don't have mentors anymore. We don't have rites of passage. We don't have traditions. You just wake up and boom, you're a man one day. That's a sad state to be in, man. Men have a strong need to belong to something greater than themselves, to belong to a group. Why do you think so many men, or boys, I should say, from poverty-stricken areas join gangs so often. The feeling to belong and get respect from other men. The simping is the same shit, except for women. They want the respect and the love from women, the acknowledgement.
It kind of swaps some power around a bit. I can see that.
Wouldn't it also flood the market and drive the prices down?
No.
It wouldn't.
Well, obviously, if you had just like an influx of women selling sex, there'd be a greater supply, right?
But who's to say there would be an influx?
Well, obviously, look how many women are doing OnlyFans right now.
Right.
So I'm just saying, like, obviously, if
OnlyFans and prostitution is not the same thing. Selling your body for sex and selling your body not for sex are two totally different things. However, a woman should be able to do whatever she wants with her body, just like a man can.
So lastly, do you think if prostitution was cheap and accessible, there'd be less rape and sexual violence?
Yes.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but I think if men could be able to get it up a little bit more for women that are willing, there would be a lot less crime.
Do you think that grape is about sex or about power?
Power. Power and control.
So if grape isn't about sex, if it's all about power, why wouldn't evil men just assault women and not bother having sex with them?
But some do.
Right, but isn't it really all about power and also sex?
No, I feel like it's more about power and control, and feeling like that you took something like that is just priceless, but you have that, like, that you did that and that you violate that person in that way, that you have some type of like that you have that over that person.
Power.
Right, but I mean, like, whenever a guy would get robbed or mugged or beat up and stuff,
It's
why
different
don't they have
that's
sex with
that's
men?
a valuable. That's like materialistic stuff. But when you like put a price on that, and then it still get taken as like you're not only robbing me, but you're violating and doing that also. So it's like a combine of like violations.
Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less
She
angry
tried,
and violent?
guys.
Yes.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
Yes.
In some cases, men see someone who is a prostitute as a way to take out their frustrations because they're paying her.
Sure, but I mean, if it was done safely with brothels and regulated, then wouldn't that be less likely to happen?
Possibly, possibly not. It depends on how well the brothel is run as a
Right, but I'm
business.
saying, I mean, why would that be any more likely to happen than, in just any normal monogamous relationship?
Very good point.
If you are putting a profit on it or you're not, there's always that sick individual that's still going to want to just take what's not theirs, even if it has a price on it.
I don't think it would eliminate it entirely, but you don't even think that it might even reduce the numbers? Wouldn't men be more fulfilled and less angry and violent?
Probably, that's possible, yeah.
Do you think there would be less rape and sexual assault?
Yes.
I think people are always going to do that off of some seeking power over someone else sort of thing. But yeah, if anyone who's graping out of desperation, I think absolutely you have a solution there. But
don't you think it would reduce it at least?
Yeah, I mean, you would have an impact on some numbers, but yeah, you're always going to have somebody, like I said, trying to exercise power.
Indeed. What's interesting is the narrative is shifting, because if you would have asked these same questions maybe 20, 30 years ago, women would have been vehemently opposed to them because it is a power loss for them, essentially flooding the market with puss and equalizing the playing field. So now, but because female empowerment, hypersexualization, the womanist movement that has taken off and been radicalized, now they're really indoctrinated into the idea of, yes, my body, I do whatever I want with it. I don't want any consequences. If I want to sleep around with 100 dudes, if I want to sell myself on OnlyFans, I should be allowed to do that. Of course, adult work should be allowed. Now they're selling the same points men are selling. But again, the empowerment part, it's unempowering. It's losing value. If you're after commitment, if you're after something serious with somebody and you get into this line of work, we've seen it. It still costs you your job when people find out. Nurses, just had an article I was reading where a nurse got fired because they found out she did OnlyFans. It's a stain on your family, your name. It's shameful. You've done the most basic, unskillful thing you could possibly do. You've reduced yourself down to a body for money. You're trading in your temple for paper. that gets printed by the millions by some printer, man. This is what you've reduced yourself down to, trading your temple for paper. Men can't respect that. We want something that's hard to get. We don't want something that the whole block has. And worse yet, the whole world has seen. How could you possibly be in a serious relationship with a woman? Imagine this. You guys are hanging out and she has to open up her OnlyFans DMs and talk to her customers and do private videos and give them the boyfriend attention, because that's the intimacy the men are craving, and then come back to you like nothing happened. Like it doesn't affect her whatsoever. You don't think this damages somebody's brain? You don't think it numbs them to a real relationship? Like she won't have any problems attaching? It's absolutely insane to think so. The only men that would give these women a shot are already men that are damaged themselves. They're low value males. They grew up in an environment where they don't have any self-esteem, no confidence. They think they're not worth nothing. They think it's okay to date women with 1,000+ bodies. They think there's nothing wrong. The male feminist, apparently. You can't save some of these simps, man. There's literal horror stories about how some of these men were raised by these overbearing mothers, super protective, doesn't allow them to go out and be a man, never had a man present. 25% of the kids these days, approaching 30%, are born in a single parent household where there is no man present and never will be. Not an uncle, nothing. They have no mentors, left alone to grow up in a world where the narrative is being pushed that you're a man, you're incompetent, you're stupid, but you're also a predator. You can't do anything right. You're lucky to get attention from a woman whatsoever. You got to pay her to even have her spend any amount of time with you. It's such a drag to hang out with a man. You out for nothing. Fast forward to today and you have an incredible simp epidemic where men have literally reduced themselves down to walking wallets. And that's the only attention they can get, because otherwise they're pacified with porn. Otherwise they're pacified with adult entertainment where they're stroking it 10 times a day, completely rewiring their brains. Or they're just zombies, drooling, playing video games all day, 10 hours a day. Get off of work, play video games. Get off of work, play video games. Isolating themselves. They get no women, no attention, no intimacy. So of course that's going to be the kind of guy that pays for OnlyFans. Can you imagine a dude paying for some shit like that, that's got his life together, that actually has friends, that actually goes out and experiences the world? We know the kind of men that are on OnlyFans. Only simps. That's what they really need to rename that website to. Anyways, this one's getting long, boys. Another amazing episode by It's Complicated. Shout outs to him. And we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to join the Spartan Challenge. In case you haven't noticed yet, it works. And we're building to something better. I'll see you boys next time.